You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I'm your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow75. And my little thing down there says at JustinHarvey75 this time because I'm using my phone. I figured I'll keep the Outlaw LA Red thing for just my computer, but apparently that doesn't work in Cleveland, the home of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That up there is at Byron Fever. That over there is at Lucha Gringo, Professor Casey. And that over there is some Leeds-loving piece of Falmouth crap, Meatloaf. What's going on, Meatloaf? How's your team doing?
We lost 4-3.
Nice.
But we lost 4-3 against the previous league champions.
It doesn't matter what your team did. Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
And our centre-back pairing were never played together. So, and one was like, he's only ever played 3 professional games in his career. So.
You're still talking about footy.
So I'm talking more than that.
Oh, my God. Anyway, a little bit of stuff going on in wrestling this week. I don't even know where to start, but I'm just going to start. We're just going to go, and we're going to do a thing. Yeah. Hey, Byron, is Kleinrock showing up today? Did you send him a thing?
He never confirmed. And
I don't care about if he confirms or not. Send him a link and tell him to get his ass over here, that piece of crap.
All right. Our other friend said that they would get back to me in an hour.
Send them a link, too. Okay. Send them a link. Tell them to show up. Tell them to get their asses over here. Anyway, Finn Balor is the champ on NXT. I know it's not a Lucha Libre thing, but there's a reason why I want to talk about it, because I believe that Finn Balor is the champ that NXT needs. I know Meatloaf is not going to want to hear that for any reason whatsoever. Right, Meef?
He's a cunt.
I don't know why you would say that. Like you guys come up with all these ideas about how he's causing all this backstage stuff.
Because he seems to sort Byron.
To me, he seems like a guy who likes to play the has a huge hog and just got married, and he's getting a great paycheck to work. Like
you liked Benoit as well, didn't you?
Everyone likes Benoit.
But Benoit didn't play with Legos.
He didn't play with Legos. So it's like, I just don't see what Finn, like you see in an interview, he said NXT has revitalized and helped his career and blah, 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 demon stuff, which we could get into. But basically you look at him and you're like, why would he be bitter about anything?
Well, I think that Finn Balor is, in fact, the champion that NXT needs for one reason and one reason only. Somebody has to put over some new guys. As much as I love the Cross Keith Lee thing, those were 2 relatively new faces in the WWE universe, and they can only help each other so much. If you've got a guy like Finn there, it's his job to do a job. You know, does that not make sense? He needs to step up, do a job for somebody. I don't care if it's Damian Priest, like I don't care if it's Bronson Pinchot or whatever that guy's name is, or I don't care who it is.
So it's great because he's the most legitimate face that they have in NXT too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why they sent him down there. It's like he doesn't need to hold the belt for any specific amount of time, but as a stopgap to finishing out, to creating a compelling storyline in that division, I think Finn Balor is exactly what you need on like a short run. Like seriously, for Bronson or I don't care if it's Cameron Grimes, HDF, Cross coming back, he needs to put over one of these guys. He has to do the job. Can he do the job in a couple of months?
Will he do the job?
That's what I'm wondering. Will he do the job, Byron?
I think he absolutely will. Why wouldn't he? I mean, he gets to go home to what he goes home to. I think he lives a happy life, and I think he's appreciative of NXT, where he gets, again, the same paycheck to work a couple times a month and gets to work the way that he would want to.
I'll tell you a little story, Byron. Okay. Eric Hernandez.
That's a good story.
Yep, that guy was on how many millions a year? Wonderful Life, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, he ends up like murdering people. Okay.
What?
I'm just saying. It's not a good example to turn around and say he goes,
he didn't play with Legos, bro.
He didn't play with Legos.
It's like, look, Byron.
I think he played with Legos.
I appreciate your analysis of Finn Balor. As someone with a huge hog that plays with Legos as well, I understand what he's going through.
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I'd buy that.
Have you seen? Okay, I'm not going to pass judgment on his wife, but have you seen how happy Finn is with his wife?
Yeah, he's a happy dude. She probably helps him read the instructions and stuff when he's building shit.
Why would he want? Why? Yeah. So why would he want to actually be
blue 6x4 goes with brown 2x2?
I just don't.
Flat.
I just don't know
like
playing with Legos and having a good-looking wife equals.
I'm saying
not a dickhead at NXT. I just don't understand why you're getting the two together.
I don't know if he is or isn't. But I agree with me. I feel like he is. I feel like there's something afoot there. I don't know. And I mean, I've never heard anything good about him from there. I've heard a lot of things good about a lot of other people. And you don't necessarily hear anything bad, but I haven't heard anything good about him.
I'm the biggest superstar in NXT. I'm the best person they've got here. Everybody should be on me.
I would feel like somebody at this point would have said something nice about him.
Yeah, but he is barely around because he's playing Legos with his wife.
Well, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she probably uses her nails to get the hard to pull apart pieces off.
Oh, his ass.
Like, how many tapings does he go to? Once a month, maybe? And then
because then you get to wrestle twice.
So what you're suggesting, Byron, is that he doesn't turn up for work and walks around like he's a mega superstar. Is that?
I'm not suggesting he walks around like a mega superstar.
Kind of sounded like it.
He has a massive dick. He has to walk like that.
That's true. That's centrifugal forces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Centrifugal, isn't it centrifugal?
Oh, guys, speaking of huge hogs, I got to say that GCW, for one of their October shows, has announced Too Cold Scorpio versus AR Fox, which sounds like
what?
One of the greatest matches in the history of the universe. I cannot wait to see it. Byron, you're going to watch the shit out of all those.
Oh, shit.
What is that on GCW?
Yeah, it's going to be on one of their GCW collective shows. Like, basically, they rescheduled all the WrestleMania shit for October, including Bloodsport. So they're going to have a bunch of shows in a row. You can pay one price to get, like, the whole package of shit. And that's one of the shows that they're putting on. AR Fox versus Too Cold Scorpio.
A somersaulting light tube leg drop.
Does anybody even need Bloodsport anymore? I mean, now that we have Raw Underground, who needs it?
I love Bloodsport.
God damn it.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Casey's leaving.
Raw Underground, though, is pretty legit, obviously. But it's a funny thing that some people, still try to work their gimmick and say, hey, let's get me in Bloodsport. And Josh Barnett very politely has the same canned response every time. There's plenty of room for that sort of stuff anywhere else in wrestling, but we don't do it here. So, don't waste your time or my time trying to work that angle. And
people trying to get Karate Man, Ethan Page in. And
And people are getting butthurt over it. And it's like, he's being quiet and he's just saying it's not going to happen. Don't work.
That's the problem with wrestling fans. They want to take all the aspects of wrestling that they enjoy from one place and turn it into everything. And ultimately, when it becomes popular everywhere else, they'll hate it.
Yeah.
That sounds appropriate.
People that don't even know what the great monumental Enochiism is trying to fucking dictate what Bloodsport can do. Well, I have a message for you. How might dictate?
What?
I like that. That was a good setup. That was solid. I keep trying to lean into my microphone, even though I'm wearing a lav.
Yeah.
So you're just like, all right.
All right. So I want to talk about the Marty Jannetty thing. I got to talk about the Jannetty thing.
Oh, that time he went through the barbershop window? That was fucked up.
Why'd he jump through it? That's weird.
Why was he trying to escape from Shawn Michaels?
His friend was just trying to talk to him.
No. Shawn Michaels is somebody's friend?
Shawn Michaels is everyone's friend as far as they know.
Yeah. Vince McMahon can tell him something different, but
you can't tell who he's looking at when he's talking, so everyone just assumes it's them.
What happened to his eye? Because I was watching some stuff the other day when he was in England. It was really hilarious, and his eye was straight.
Kayfabe was the Jericho TV shot, I think, but somewhere around there he caught a kick or an elbow, and it kind of.
Yeah, and it just keeps getting worse. But they tried saying it was from the Jericho-tron and his face going through that.
It's like a 3,000 Jericho-tron. Of course, it's not shyable.
Anyway, I'm talking about the Marty Jannetty thing that people think is super duper racist, where he says basically that he is scared of black people, and that he feels this is a valid concern. He also goes on to do the I have a black friend thing, which he does.
Plenty of black friends.
And
He has a black friend.
Black chicks, too.
Yeah, he has a black friend. But unfortunately, that black friend is Hakeem, the African Dream. So
he has plenty of black daughters he wants to sleep with, too.
Wow.
Plenty of black friends that he's got buried out in the desert.
So here's my thing. I actually really appreciate this. Not because it's not veiled with racism, not that there isn't a certain amount of ignorance in his statements. And you can read them. They're on his Twitter. It's the big post that says, "This is why I stay in trouble, because I speak real talk and blah, blah, blah."
Because I confess to murder.
White people understanding that black people have to grow up differently and blah, blah, blah. But so here's the thing. And here's how I equate it. I appreciate this because of the fact that people like this who are at least rationally stating what their issue is, I can work with that. What I can't work with is some guy who is super nice in your face, says that he believes in the cause and whatever, and then goes and puts on a sheet, burns something down, and tries to kill you later. A guy like this who is saying, yes, I have legitimate fears of, or legitimate to myself, fears of black people, and that makes me react with a certain level of caution when I interact with black people. I get it to a certain extent. Because guess what? I'm the same way with cops. Is there ever a time when I have walked up to a police officer and I have not said in my mind, I have a certain amount of fear here, and until I get to know this specific officer and until I am comfortable with this situation, I'm going to treat that level of fear with a certain amount of respect so I don't get my ass killed. Just like Marty Jannetty is treating it with a certain amount of respect so that when he walks into the hood, he's going to have his neck on a swivel before he goes to the liquor store for some Mad Dog 2020 so he doesn't get his ass shanked in a fucking alley. So I get it. Yes, it's a little bit ignorant the way he stated it. He does have a little bit of growing to do. But I think we can't cancel Marty Jannetty for this because we can work with that. We can work with people who have these kind of issues and these kind of fears. In my
and the other example to kind of give, it's obviously sad timing, would be directly after 9/11. I mean, can anybody really say when that happened they were cool, and they didn't have any fears around like anybody who's a Muslim or like Arabian?
I think
that happened.
I want to know who's going to book New Jack versus Marty Jannetty.
Yes.
And how much I can pay to see it, and how many weeks of promos ahead of time, though. Not a one show bullshit thing. I want promos for at least a month. Just from New Jack. Marty doesn't have to say shit.
New Jack is the last person Marty needs to meet or work with to bring him back to the other side.
Dude, he's like Denzel's best friend.
Bring him back from the other side. I mean, some of it might just kill him. Punitive.
Yeah, maybe he has some come to him.
Punitive is fine too. That'll bring him around one way or the other. He's going to get there.
It's making a scaffold match.
Yeah,
I would like Big Swole to be the special guest referee for that. That would be awesome. And I believe that pretty much any Coke dealer in the greater United States area could sponsor that match for you, Casey.
Oh, nice.
Diego Maradona could be front row.
Do you think Marty?
What, Byron?
Do you think Marty has his WWE royalty checks sent directly to his Coke dealer?
I hope so.
That would be smart.
That would absolutely make perfect sense.
His Coke dealer is his manager.
I have no idea of this man's drug use. We're just speculating based on facts. All right.
And his own repeated admissions of drug use, yes.
You threw out a little Big Swole reference, and I just wanted to add on to that and say Big Swole is awesome.
Yeah, Big Swole rules.
Big Swole is awesome.
Yeah.
And look, sadly, most of the news in wrestling this week stems out of AEW. We're going to talk a ton about it, a lot of Lucha Underground related stuff as well. Don't jump the gun, Meatloaf. Don't be a Byron and skip ahead. We'll get there. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today, especially and most importantly, Lucha Underground, Season 1, Episode 19, Grave Consequences. If you don't know this match, first of all, you probably shouldn't be watching this show, or you need to go and watch that right now. Hit pause on this. Go watch Grave Consequences. It's on Tubi. Go watch that right now. Come back, because we've got plenty to say about it. It's one of our favorites ever. We're going to be right back after we listen to Denise Salcedo over in Lucha Central with the Lucha Central Podcast Network update.
Hey everyone, it's Denise Salcedo here in Lucha Central with a reminder of where and when to catch all of the great network content this week. Get the full lineup and listen to all of our shows in the Podcast Network section of luchacentral.com. Monday, Lucha Libre Figures and Facts returns with a brand new episode. Find the video version of each episode on the Lucha Central YouTube page at luchacentral.com or listen on your favorite podcast platform. On Tuesdays, Mats and Mayhem takes you inside the world of Lucha Underground as they take you weekly through the series with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of special guests from the groundbreaking series. Check out the premiere video stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Lucha Central YouTube channel and at luchacentral.com. Then listen to it on your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday. Tuesday nights live, it's Wrestle Boss, where Fabi Chulo talks MMA and pro wrestling with special guests and listener call-ins. Visit WrestleBossLive.com Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific to listen live or call in with questions or download the show on podcast platforms on Wednesdays. Wednesday nights live on Facebook, it's Spanish show La Mesa de los Márgaros, giving you both the news and the chisme from around the lucha world. Special guests and a whole lot of fun make it one of the most talked about shows in Mexico. Thursdays, it's Straight Out of the Bodega with Papo Esco and PWR promoter Gabriel Ramirez, as they have guests from throughout the wrestling world pull up to give an inside look into their careers. From indie standouts to television superstars, each week brings a new name and perspective. On Friday, it's your double dose of Lucha Central Weekly podcast, one in English y el otro en español. Lucha Central Weekly is where you'll find all the top stories of the week, both inside and out of the ring from Mexico and anywhere luchadores are in action across the globe. Be sure to subscribe and follow all your favorite Lucha Central Network series on your favorite podcast platforms, either by their own series name or subscribe to the Lucha Central Podcast Network show pages to get all of the shows in one easy feed. And please consider giving a rating to help more fans find the shows that you love. For now, this is Denise Salcedo signing off from Lucha Central. Have a great week.
We're back.
Thanks, Denise. That was super duper awesome. Love to hear from you. Love to see all the fun stuff that you're out there doing. Don't know why you don't do it on the Lucha Central Podcast Network also, but fine, whatever. I guess some people just have it like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Kevin was the best point. I don't think Kevin can afford her other than what he's already getting her for. He might not be able to afford us for very much longer if he doesn't come through on a couple, 3 things. And he needs to get his ass on this show so I can talk to him about it. Because I'm not calling him.
Lucha Libre podcast.
I refuse. This is the only place I will talk to anybody who works or does anything professionally in the wrestling industry. I refuse to do it on my own time. Fuck that.
Yeah. I think it's awesome that we're the best Lucha Libre podcast on the internet right now. And combined, we know about 25 Spanish words.
Chupalo.
We know that many?
Pinche.
Combined.
Culero. Basura.
There's duplicates, etc.
Basura, that's a good one.
Basura. Basura. Me gusta hamburguesas.
Mi bebemos gato. Mi gato bebemos leche.
This is why we're the number 4 rated.
No tengo chichi para.
This is why we're the number 4 rated Mexican wrestling podcast right now, because there's a lot of people in Mexico just looking at us like, what are these dumbasses trying to say in Spanish?
Honestly, look, if you want to book myself as my alter ego, Relampago Blanco, I am more than happy to accept booking fees in advance. I might show up, I might not, but that's not my gamble.
That's the game. That's the game.
Yeah, it's the game you got to play.
Me gusta lucha libre por vive. Rudos.
I'll tell you what. Let's do the most Latino thing that we do on this show, which is to talk about another episode of Lucha Underground.
That was dangerous.
Yeah.
Does that even count though? Well, I guess it's not season 4, so it's okay.
In this episode, it's all right.
Season 1.
Yeah,
we're okay.
I can't say that in season 4, but this one I absolutely can. This is a turning point for Lucha Underground. If you've been watching this show for the last 18 weeks or so, we've been kind of leading up to this point. There's a reason why we all still talk about Lucha Underground to this day.
And it's not any of the episodes before this.
No. I mean, there was some interesting stuff there, and I was very excited about it, but I wasn't even watching regularly. Like, I was catching up, and I'd miss an episode here or there. Like, there was one that we reviewed recently that I had actually never even seen before, which is amazing because somehow I just missed it twice that I've gone through the whole series. Anyway, the lead up to this was kind of them getting their stride, figuring out if it was even a good idea. People thought that it might turn into Wrestling Society X and just be a fun thing that just didn't really have legs, which I guess maybe at the end of the day it kind of still was. But regardless, no, they got over 100 episodes. That's a real show. Anyway, this episode means a lot to a lot of people. The fans kind of went nuts for it. We went nuts for it. It's good for a couple of reasons. The first reason is this first match. Aerostar versus Drago is a great way to get this particular one started. This is one of the only long best of feuds that I've ever liked for any reason. And honestly, they could have done the same match 5 times and I probably would have been okay with it, but they did not. They actually brought some new stuff to this one, and I was very pleased with it. I first of all, I popped when Drago came in with the extra mask thing on right at the fucking outset. Yeah. That was dope.
You're gonna have to correct me on this because Casey knows how to pronounce this word properly. Laves, the style.
Yeah,
it started very Yaves.
Yeah, dude. It's a wrestling counter wrestling kind of thing that we've been seeing from Angelico on AEW a lot. Basically. Yes. The way Angelico does it, though, he doesn't have an opponent trained in it that can fight back and try to counterhold him. I think it was like a translation fuck up because Llaves means key instead of lock, but they're locks like we would talk about in wrestling or holds. But you kind of like get a submission, and then if the guy doesn't tap out, you increase the difficulty into another submission, and you keep flowing through it. That's how Angelico does it now. That's how Solar does it now. That's how Negro Demaro does it now. That's kind of how Zack Sabre Jr. does it now, even though his is more a British version of that. All of them are kind of doing stuff that has evolved basically when Milano Collection AT started doing this style and just kind of tying people up in knots until he got them into the Paradise Lock. Things like that. But in this match, it's 2 guys that know how to do it. And it's basically chain wrestling, but it's the lucha version of chain wrestling, which none of the moves are going to get a submission, but none of the moves are going to get a rest either. You're not putting the submission hold on to rest. You're putting it on to exhibit skill, just like you would jump off of the top rope. It's not like you're going to clamp on a headlock and sit on it for 20 minutes so you can catch your breath. You know what I mean?
It's also a mental thing, isn't it? It's like you put your opponent through that mental thing of, I'll put you in this lock, you'll get out, you'll work your way, but I'll put you into something else, and vice versa. They can reverse something, and it's like the switch of the mental aspect.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a whole feeling out process. Lucha Underground kind of then turns the next transition into a dive, usually when they do something like this. Yeah. And then that kind of takes a different way out than Lucha Libre usually does traditionally. I do want to point, like, anyone that's super interested in this style, there's 2 places I want you to look. One is on the Wrestling Genius subreddit, which is run by Chris Hero. Rob Viper actually talks about this style a lot and says more things than I ever could. Rob has forgotten more things about Lucha Libre than I will ever know. And he's Canadian, which increases the difficulty tenfold. Also, I want you to go to the Angelico team YouTube page run by our homegirl YYH. she's got a bunch of training sessions where Angelico's teaching this style to people. The videos are only like 30 seconds each, but you really get a feel of how it's supposed to work and what it's supposed to look like. You can also see it every time Angelico wrestles on AEW, which isn't fucking often enough.
And it's, just on an Angelico thing, it's really surprising that some people don't know that that's his actual style of wrestling.
Well, because he never got to do it on any of the big stages that we see on TV. And even when he was in Bola, he barely got to use it, you know?
I saw him, the first time I ever saw him live, I saw him versus Zack Sabre Jr.
That's awesome. That's a good match.
It was very magical. A lot of the again, it's the British crowd who were like, "Yeah, New Japan, yeah."
Against
and
who?
then like, you know,
against who?
Yeah,
Zack Sabre Jr.
For you listeners that are new, Zack Sabre Jr. is Justin's least favorite wrestler in the whole world. But me and Byron love him.
Wait, wrestler?
Yeah,
you guys.
The human noodle.
Zack Saber's awesome.
Dude,
we were there when
had,
he went over 15.
If we had Zack Sabre Jr. when me and Byron were watching wrestling in the 90s, I would be a pro wrestler now because I would have felt less body conscious about myself all the time.
He's like
Man's a pioneer.
He is. He's like Maru-chan is to like a real bowl of ramen. Like maybe if you added a whole bunch of stuff and did it the right way, it would be good. But he's really just salty, wet noodles. That's all.
The thing is, Suzuki was talking about this a while ago in an interview. He was lamenting how all the titles of New Japan sounded the same, or were the same, treated the same, and how performers all were the same, and how he loved the makeup of Suzuki-gun because they all brought something specific to the table. Like you're not going to see another Suzuki, you're not going to see another Zack Sabre Jr. No one else is doing that, and he's bringing his specific style, and I like that about him. Now, and also he keeps that body type because the whole package makes him unique.
Did you say whole package?
The whole package.
That's a cup that he wears. He wears a cup, Byron.
Thank
you. Are you sure?
Yeah, like a Shoney Carter going.
That's the whole package.
Anyway, so but back onto what we were actually talking about, which is Aerostar and Drago. Like they just keep taking things that you've seen maybe a little bit before and kind of one-upping themselves. Like the suicide dive was more cannonball style, backwards off the top rope this time, and it was just
the trust fall.
Dope as hell. Like it was a trust fall thing. Yeah, not a suicide dive, trust fall.
Rope walk.
It's off the top rope, cannonballs into it. And I mean, he was coming down like a rock at that time. The trust ball,
but he knows Drago will
come
catch him.
Slower. Drago almost missed. He got there, but
he'll fucking kill himself to catch you though. That's the thing with Drago.
Yeah.
He doesn't base often. Yeah, he doesn't base often either. That's what's kind of cool. Is Drago's playing the bass for Aerostar when usually these guys are teaming because they're both technicos, and Drago doesn't have to be a bass. You don't have to be a bass for Rudos usually, you know. Rudos are usually the bases.
Well, and that is one of the things that's weird about this, because this is basically straight up Technico versus Technico, which you might get a one-off of here or there, but a best of 5 feud between two Technicos is kind of a rare thing.
It's magical because then it's like a proper showcase for the Lucha Libre style.
Yeah,
which is all these matches are. But sorry.
Honestly, Neef, I just kept remembering that in 3 seasons they're both losing to Jack Swagger. Yeah.
That can never be you can never take that image from our brains.
Season 4. I still like to believe that if Casey had actually been there, somehow he could have stopped that all from happening. I don't know how, but I just feel like that was the.
I feel like Drago and Aerostar tag me in, and I'll take that white boy out. Fuck yeah.
I feel that if Casey had been there and seen one match of what was going on, he would have kicked down Joseph Storm and punched him in the fucking face.
I feel Casey would have been like, hey, no, there's 5 guys that wear masks.
They would have had to have security dragging a kicking and screaming child, aka Casey, out of the building as he was trying to light it on fire.
Just be
that security was looking for reasons to drag me out of the building anyway. So
that is potentially true. Yeah. Who knows what Waffle House was going to do? Anyway, there's a couple other things I really loved. I love the, I don't know what you call it, Casey, the corkscrew tope thing that Drago did, not to be outdone by Aerostar.
Tornillo.
Shit.
Yes.
And then I know there's no name for whatever kind of crazy rope walk thing that Aerostar did right before the win, because that was nuts.
That's called
corner
a
to
rib
corner
on-
rope run thing into the Hurricane Rana off the top. That was
that's called a rope
Under the
walk
middle
kick
rope
to the
as
face.
well.
Yeah.
He probably saw Phoenix warming up spots for the main event, and he's like, "I'm gonna fuck this guy up," and he threw the rope walk.
Because let's be honest, running across the top rope is difficult as hell, and never thingy. But like to actually have, because you have to curve your legs in to do the middle rope, whereas on the top rope it's just straight, fuck it, go for it. Whereas the second rope is ridiculous.
In the middle rope, if you fuck up, you can kind of roll out of the way. If you're doing the middle rope, you're hitting your dick if you fuck up, like no matter what.
And possibly wrapping your leg up into that twist and
you just have to be a certain amount of bow-legged like Byron, and it works fine.
Or Matt Hardy.
Yeah. Psychosis.
You're talking about
Tejimuto.
I can't bend my legs.
So Aerostar gets the pin here. It is now 2-1 in this series, which means we get 2 more chances. Advantage Aerostar. Aerostar can just win the next one. He won't even have to go to that 5th match, because that's always what happens in a wrestling feud where they say best of 5.
Yeah, it never goes 5. Come on, like why would it do that?
Oh my God!
In the WWE, it goes 1 match and then they cut the storyline short, and you never see it happen again.
Unless Cesaro's involved.
I gotta admit something, you guys. Come on, let's be real. How many of you fast forwarded straight to grave consequences from this point? Because I fucking did.
I did not.
Oh, I watched the chess Puma thing. I watched the.
Yeah. That was
Conan. Yeah. Conan's chess package in the park. That was kind of fun. I enjoyed that whole thing.
And we got to see him murder totally not unmasked luchadors.
Yes. Yeah. I dig it, and this is part 3 now of this Conan package.
Why did he put Loco in 5 different masks on season 4? He could have almost been his own tag team.
He probably
that would be amazing. Going underneath the ring and then coming back out with another mask on.
Yeah.
He could have done it. So JC, you're saying you weren't really into Big Rick versus the Crew, of Big Rick doing his face turn here to get some big pop action from the crowd in this exciting romp through wrestling history?
I gotta say, I liked the finish, but it was all Cholo, and because for those of you that skipped this match, everyone. Cholo does a sick blade job and then fucking gets Uranage on an open chair, which was dope.
Cool.
And
so here's the match for you. Bale eliminated, double suplex on Cortez and Cisco. Cortez eliminated. Sexy Star pushes Cisco down the stairs, kinda, but not really.
Yeah.
Wait for her to keep pushing him down.
Right.
And it was the padded stairs you need a push.
Yeah, Cisco feeds himself back to Big Rick for the Big Rick right, and then you get the blade job off the Big Rick right. Right? Did he do anything else to cause the blade job, or just literally the punch caused?
I think it was the punch.
It was a slow punch, and he was gearing up for what looked like a lariat or a clothesline. Yeah, a lariat, and then he went for just regular Hogan punch where you hold the face and punch the back of your hand and then their head.
I think whoever who agreed to do a blade job in this match was kind of a dipshit agent-wise. Just saying.
I feel like Big Rick forgot whatever the spot was supposed to be that was supposed to get us there, and Cisco was just like, I guess I'll just bleed here because this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Still though, if you're gonna have such an impactful blade job in the next match, why do one here too?
Right. See, that's another thing. But also,
you had to.
Speaking of unmasked wrestlers,
this match just shouldn't have been in this show if this was supposed to be some kind of big payoff thing. This was the wrong place for it. But maybe it was also just like, we need to throw this thing away. Like, we always knew this was going to end with Cisco getting something beat up about his face and eye. There was no other way to end this. So they had to do it, but I don't know that they had to do it here. They could have probably found a better place to do it in general.
Maybe they introducing the match and saw the kind of fire and kind of comeback that Big Rick does, and decided the whole thing wasn't really worth it.
Right. Yeah, it was a little bit of a throwaway, which leads us to the crowning achievement of the first half of season 1 and possibly the entire series. The very first Fenix versus Mil Muertes Grave Consequences.
Oh, right off the bat, I'm a fucking asshole, you guys.
That's
because
true.
I gave them shit about Katrina leaving The Rock, and he did walk out with The Rock. Mil did have The Rock. So that was my bad. I'm sorry.
Which is interesting.
I didn't address something earlier on, which I have in my first section of notes, is that Melissa Santos has an Eye of Horus glitter thingy on her shoulder. What the fuck was that about?
It's a fucking no, dude. It's just saying Ray Horus is coming.
Yeah, it was literally just some squidgy PVA glued.
I think Cage better ask Ray Horus some questions. Is what I'm saying.
What?
Cage has got glitter jizz.
Oh,
it was always funny.
That's what's down his trousers. It's just a bottle of PVA glitter glue.
Oh,
It's just
gets everywhere.
It's just supplements.
Oh God, glitter.
My notes for this match is literally Phoenix arrives, because whilst we've seen him being amazing, this is like the moment where it's like, holy fuck, he's a superstar.
Okay, first of all,
this is the first good casket match I think we've ever seen.
Oh, in history, and I'm a lifelong Undertaker fan, so I can 100% vouch for that. Because I'll give you a little history.
There's a reason for it. Well, I'll let you give the history, but to me, just setting this thing up, to me, it was like this was the perfect cross section of things that I like about wrestling. It felt a little bit strong style Japanese when they were in the center of the ring together. It felt very much like a lucha guy with a good base, like a good AAA or CMLL match that you don't even get that often, where you have a strong base and like a top, high flyer guy together really going at it. And it also had like all of the ECW plunder action and taking the ring ropes off and crazy new spots that you've never seen. So to me, it was like literally it was a cross section of all the things I love, plus some storyline. These guys aren't necessarily cutting. The only thing it was missing was a fire promo from one of the two guys. But Katrina, adding that element of it kind of helped supplant that one piece that I would say was missing to make this a perfect match for me. But Casey, tell us a little bit about the history of casket matches.
The earliest casket matches that I remember.
Look,
hey, it's our boss. Hold on a second.
Hey, I just had to hear about casket.
Is he there? Does this work?
Yes. Oh, he's got his Disco Inferno one. Oh no!
All right, everybody, put all the stuff away now. The boss is here. Can he even hear us? Oh, look at this guy.
I can hear you.
I'll put this one up for him. There you go.
Look, guys, we're going to get right back to all of the fun action and grave consequences, but we're being joined right now by Kevin Kleinrock, one of the masterminds of Masked Republic and our very own Lucha Central Podcast Network. I'd say he's the boss, but Kevin, you haven't paid us anything.
We're all bosses. We're all bosses here.
Yeah.
Hefe the Hefes.
He hasn't paid you. He pays me all the time.
I know, but that's why you're locked into a contract to do this for a long time.
Meatloaf, if you put your background to shame.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know about that. I mean, I might have more variety, but I think we'd all kill for the Return to Oz showcase room that Meath had.
Is that a Masked Republic mask right behind you?
Next to yes, it is. Yes, it's custom from Busio.
Next to a Wagner with the design by Urban Aztec.
Yep, also handcrafted by Busio.
Well, so if you guys don't know who Kevin is, and that wouldn't be surprising because he doesn't get over very much, let me put him over for a second.
Wow.
His podcast, Business of the Business, is absolutely wonderful. He does it like, I don't know, what do you do it like once every 17 months or something? How often do you do that thing?
No, actually, originally it was going to be monthly, but since quarantine, we have been doing it every other week. We'll see if it happens this week, but it's been pretty much every 2 weeks.
What's the best one so far? Is it Colt? That was I think that might have been one of my favorites. I don't know. I mean,
I think it depends on kind of what kind of storytelling you want. I mean, I've tried to have real variety. So we've had artists on, we've had toy makers on, we've had the only wrestler that I've had on is Colt. So getting that kind of inside perspective from how really a groundbreaking wrestler in the merchandise game, his approach for merchandise, that was really cool to see. I think for those that don't know the podcast, essentially it's an inside look into how officially licensed wrestling and Lucha Libre merchandise gets made. So, and not just Lucha Libre merch, but other merch as well. But I always try to, work in that wrestling or Lucha angle. So, Urban Aztec, who's done T-shirts and masks and things for Master Republic, but also for WWE. All the WWE foot action stuff right now is from him. We had Jeff Everett from Rockets Are Red, who's done a number of officially licensed posters, not only with us, but WWE and a bunch of bands that you've probably heard of.
Did he Rush?
What was that?
Did he do Rush? The band Rush?
I don't know if he did. I think Pale Horse did one.
That's it. Sorry, yes, it's Pale Horse who did the Rush.
So I will be having Chris on the podcast at some point. We've talked to Eric Aranya from Boss Fight Studio. We've talked to Jeremy from the company name changes, but Jazzwares, who does the AEW figures. So a lot of great kind of the types of guests that you're not going to get on other wrestling podcasts.
Right.
And I'm a big fan of the toy ones myself.
Yes. Those two.
And there's something for, look, everybody who listens to our podcast has got to be some kind of geek. So you should definitely check out what Kev's doing on his show. And it kind of leads me to one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring you on, because obviously, Kev and Ruben have a strong connection to Lucha Libre, and you've helped a lot of these guys get their own licensed merchandise out there into the public. So you guys have built a great rapport with a lot of luchadors and a lot of people in the Lucha Libre world, which also gives you kind of the inside scoop on what's going on with them legally. So I want to know, Kev, this is the thing that I am most curious about right now.
The reason
what
for the
hell
invitation.
is going? Yeah, but what the hell is going on with Penta, with the Lucha Brothers? Like, what the hell am I supposed to call these?
What
guys?
are we allowed to call
clue.
them? Yeah.
What are we allowed to call them? And why is this happening again?
Is my fight with Dorian back on?
Well,
yes.
So it's really not as I guess devious or problematic as it has been in the past. Really, where we're at now is where I think at least Penta would have liked to have been, like at the beginning of AEW. So I guess if we're going to summarize this all as quickly as possible, originally in AAA, Penta was Pentagon Jr., Fenix was Fenix. Probably covered on many other episodes of this podcast. There were a number of issues with Lucha Underground and the wrestlers that signed to Lucha Underground from AAA. Going all the way back to the first season, where the talents didn't sign themselves really up for Lucha Underground. Those that were in AAA kind of got signed to Lucha Underground. Guys who spoke Spanish and did not speak any English were never offered a contract in Spanish to review. There are a lot of things that, and technically under California law, that's not even legal. And so, at some point, I'm sure those on this show recall, there was kind of an exodus of AAA talent from AAA, though they remained on Lucha Underground. They went to the Crash, most of them. Penta, Fenix,
La Rebellion.
A number of athletes. I think Jack Evans had left AAA at some point. And so it got really contentious because the Crash was AAA's main rival, not only in Tijuana, but the Crash was going to start to be doing shows all over Mexico. And at some point in the midst of all that, Conan left Lucha Underground, and then Conan also started booking for the Crash. And so a lot of behind the scene politics. And at that point, Penta changed his name to Penta L0M or Penta 0M, and Fenix changed his name to Rey Fenix. And there were a number of trademark and copyright type of filings. In Mexico, Rey Fenix secured Rey Fenix, and Penta secured Penta L0M. in the United States, shortly after Penta changed his name on that Crash show in January of, I think it was 2017, LLFMV, the company behind Lucha Underground, filed a trademark on Penta Zero M in the United States. Just as they had also filed a trademark on Cero Miedo. And it's really kind of, so wrestling contracts in general are very one-sided usually, and not for the wrestler. I've told this story before, but when we did Wrestling Society X for MTV, the first version of the contract that MTV wanted me to have the wrestler sign was basically that Lucha Underground contract. It was pictured as a contract for a reality show, not a wrestling series with wrestlers who have personas that come in and then leave. And I worked back and forth with the MTV lawyers for a good 2-3 weeks to just kind of get that contract to a place where I was comfortable handing it to talent and feeling like they weren't going to get screwed if, the show didn't go, and it didn't go. And so everyone was really protected. But with Lucha Underground, Penta had created Cero Miedo before he ever stepped onto Lucha Underground. However, in wrestling contracts, again, most wrestling contracts in general, it basically says anything you bring in, we have rights to, and anything you create while you're here, we have rights to, and you don't. It's basically akin to a work for hire contract for people that are familiar with that. You work for a company, any ideas you have whatsoever belong to that company. And it was interesting, actually, and I know the name is kind of verboten these days, but when Joey Ryan was originally negotiating with Lucha Underground.
We were the penis gimmick guy here.
Oh, that guy. So when he was originally negotiating with Lucha Underground, we helped a lot of talents with their Lucha Underground, not the Mexican talents, because they were just kind of, like I said, indentured servitude to the show. But there was a number of American talents who we were kind of helping behind the scenes, try to negotiate their deals at first. And one of the things that Joey wanted in his contract was that his name, his gimmick would remain his and would not be owned by the show. And they told him no. But then after Japan and the penis gimmick and everything, they've said, you know what, we'll give you all those things you negotiated originally. Cool. Come work for us now. So his contract kind of had that protection in it. But so once Lucha Underground trademarked Cero Miedo, we, in his merchandising and everything else we were doing together, we switched to Zero Miedo. Slight difference, but it was enough, at least in our eyes, that it was going to not appear with their trademark on the merchandise. Now they're filed trademark, because we'll get into something else in a minute. But so they filed Penta Zero M, but we decided we were going to still keep using Penta Zero M because the way trademarks work, you can file a trademark and prove that you're using it right there and now. You submit evidence, essentially called a specimen, that shows this is how I'm using it in commerce. So, this is it on my shirt, on my hang tag, or this is on a poster, the wrestler. But when Lucha Underground filed for Penta Zero M, they filed a what's called intent to use, which is saying I have this idea, I want to protect it now, but I have 6 months to show that I'm using it, and then if I don't show that I'm using it, I lose the trademark. So they filed it, but then they filed for an extension of another 6 months, an extension. And eventually, I think it's like 7 extensions that you're allowed to have or something. It's 5 or 7. It's multiple years. And eventually, their trademark was abandoned because they never proved that they were using it. Now, obviously, it's a little different. The Lucha Libre FMV doesn't even really exist. I mean, it exists on paper, but it's not active. But even back then, there was still a good, at least a year, where the Lucha Underground was active, and they just never did what they had to do. They're really just trying to block him from using it. So
right. Well, they couldn't even get seasons to continue without weird hiatuses at that point in time. So
yeah.
They couldn't get their show on the air to even use a trademark for a while there.
Well, that's interesting too, because they created their own Pentagon named Pentagon Dark so they could use it as well. So they pretty much came up with their own character, their own Pentagon character.
Hey,
and
at least they did a T-shirt for that one.
And
it's a start.
Oh god!
And that was, and that made sense. That made perfect sense. I mean, from the beginning, and not that we have time to go into all the things that went wrong with it at the beginning today, but from the beginning, they wanted to have characters and IP that they owned and controlled. And like you guys mentioned, the only ones that really ever got merchandise, except for I think they did like a Johnny Mundo shirt at some point. But again, Johnny had an actual Hollywood agent. Fun fact, also Hulk Hogan's agent, who negotiated his contract for him. And so he had a very different contract. But Pentagon Dark, Prince Puma, and Mil Muertes were really the only ones that ever got merchandise.
There was a weird thing with Germany as well. Mike Ritter out in Germany, he used to do WCW, then now he does AEW. He's the guy who put out the Blu-rays for season 1. Mike's really amazing guy to talk to as well. But they had so much fun. And they got given the license to kind of create merch, send it to Lucha Underground to get okayed, and then make it. But they actually put out a Cuerno one at one point, like a hoodie, but it was the original Cuerno without the mouth. But yeah, that was a character they created, but they never could. Phantasma had an amazing version of the Quick King Cuerno shirt that I've got. It's fantastic, but it's just it's so funny how they dropped that ball.
I mean, so Kev, again, what's the reason for the switch now? I don't quite understand that. Is there some falling out with AAA again?
So I guess without saying too much, that
you could say too much.
Well, I don't want to say anything prior to AEW saying something maybe, but bottom line is, when Penta originally went to AEW, he was still under contract, so to speak, in some manner, shape, or form, with Lucha Libre FMV. And no longer is he. From the beginning, he personally wanted to use Penta L0M or Penta 0M. He did not want to. He's fun. There's still a relationship with AAA. He is still in AAA. Phoenix is still in AAA, and in Mexico, they are down to be Pentagon Junior and Phoenix when they're in AAA. I still don't know the answer why in the beginning AEW went with the Rey Fenix, but then didn't go with the Penta 0M. It might have been a discussion that they had with AAA, but essentially the original agreement when they came into AAA was kind of a three-way agreement between AAA and Lucha Underground. I mean, AAA, the brothers individually, and then AEW. And so they had the option essentially. Penta and Phoenix. You can call us Penta 0M. You can call us Rey Fenix. You can call us Lucha Brothers. And then AAA had their names there too, and they made the decisions they did back then. But now that there's a little bit more separation and a little bit more clarity of what can happen, I just think that both Penta and AEW preferred to go with the name that Penta owns and controls himself.
What's cool is because of that, you don't have to change your action figure packaging, and they probably do if they're far enough along in production for that. Because
that's a really good question. I don't know. I mean, I know their figures are going to be out very soon as well. We do have to say something though, Kev.
Yeah.
Their figures are garbage compared to theirs. So yours are fantastic. Theirs are absolutely pure garbage. Fenix looks like it's been put through a blender.
I don't know if I'd say pure garbage. I kind of like them.
I ordered them. I ordered them from Ringside Collectibles. I'm looking forward to getting them and supporting them. They are.
Oh, we'll still buy them, Kev. We're idiots. We'll still buy that shit. Jesus Christ.
I stand by though, regardless of anything. I stand by these boss fight figures that are coming out for Legends of Lucha Libre. hands down the best Lucha Libre figures that have ever been released.
Are they doing they're doing a Vampiro doll, like 2 of them, right? Vampiro dolls?
No, they're doing Vampiro action figures, Byron, you piece of shit.
They're dolls. They're totally dolls. They're vampire dolls.
I will say that at this moment in time, that nothing has been officially announced for that yet. But if I come back on in another couple months, it might have been officially announced by then. So believe it.
Also, Kev, if you were to release a Cassandra one, you would be the first ever Exotico figure, I believe.
Yeah. So it's no secret. Cassandra did sign with Legends of Lucha Libre, which is our IP and licensing division. The action figure. Not custom, but the actual mass-produced action figures, the timing of those is about 12 to 18 months to market. Yeah. And that's without COVID and things like that. Our Pentagon and Fenix were supposed to be out this past August, about a month ago now. And unfortunately have been delayed. But they'll be out this year still. And that's even when you look at the AEW stuff, the reason that the AEW figures are in their gear from All In, the very first All In, is because that's how long it takes to get this.
Yeah, A to B.
This is almost. It'll be more than a year. Because All In was 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, it was up against our first Expo Lucha in Las Vegas that same weekend.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
So we're talking those AEW figures have been in the works for 2 years. So quite on some level, quite a long process. But yes, so while nothing official has been announced yet, you can assume that there will be some sort of Cassandro collectibles coming out from our line.
We have one request.
That would make perfect sense.
Yeah, Cassandro.
The one request is it's scratch and sniff.
Yeah,
Cassandro is the nicest smelling luchador of all time.
If you have a Cassandro fragrance, this could be groundbreaking.
This I'm gonna note.
When he came past me in London and he got a waft of the cape, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm in heaven."
We charge 5%. All right, so telling you what to do.
You guys are putting Kevin over too much. I want to get back to the real questions here. The real questions. First of all, is Jojo Feeney a bitch or not? And second of all, are you in cahoots with him? What is going on, Kev? Why did we get buried? This has been an age-old question going on here.
Wait, well, but see, here's the thing, though, right? JoJo has gone above and beyond to make it up. Now, I know you guys don't have it yet, but there are.
Look, we've taken you guys off of the wall of shame, but you are still hovering on the precipice of just falling right back onto a spiked bed of Hall of Shame at any moment now.
Let's wait and see if JoJo could pull off this sponsorship deal for you guys. He has said is on its way. I think you'll have to keep him off the wall of shame, at least as long as the sponsorship continues.
Oh no! And look, if it comes through, that's fine. But
then he's on the wall of fame.
I'm telling you, he is going to be impaled on the fucking wall of shame. It's going to be the most merciless, brutal, savage thing you've ever seen or witnessed in podcast history. We're going to murder him for all time over the airwaves. So
I get 15 minutes straight of clean air.
Worse than Hasbro for fucking up our Storm Shadows last week, and they're on there. They're on there.
Well, listen, guys, it's been great. It's been great having Kevin on. You got kind of a little bit of the scoop there. We know you can't say everything every time, Kev. You got business to do. We absolutely respect that. We never want anybody to hurt their game by coming on the show. But thank you for coming by. And next time you come, you and I are going to have a little chat about a guy named Fogelman. That's what's going to happen.
Ooh, yeah. That I've got nothing I need to hold back there. So
I know. That's why we got to bring you back, and then we can talk some more about all the stuff that's coming out then. Thanks for stopping by, Kev. Appreciate you, brother.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Byron, kick him off now.
Oh, that was cool. That was cool. But now we have a history of casket matches to continue, apparently. We need to take a break
first of all,
should we go to a break?
I think we got to take a break and come back.
Well, if you guys would let me throw to the break, we could. All right.
We should take a break, I think.
We should take a break.
Should we take a timeout? Is that what you guys call it in America?
Zach Morris, timeout.
Yeah,
now you're back. Now we can see your
Take a break. Yeah,
Denise, tell us what's up with the Lucha masks.
No, it's.
I don't know.
Lucha-masks.com, in partnership with Mask Republic, give you personal protective masks to keep you Lucha strong in the fight versus COVID-19. With world-class luchadors Blue Demon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, LA Park, Ultimo Dragon, Cain Velasquez, Conan, and so much more. Head to lucha-masks.com and you too can become a masked warrior. Lucha-masks.com, powered by Pro Wrestling Revolution.
And we're back.
That was
Back. Wow. Look at you guys with all your lucha-mask.com mask. What do you got, Casey? That's some new.
Oh, dude, this is so new that I should probably take it off so you can see it better. All right, my friends. Byron, give me the one, honey. Okay. This is the official Lucha Bros Mexicans Cero Miedo See You in the Ring mask. And it's sold out extremely, extremely fast. So if you want this mask, and you know you do, look at this shit. This shit's fucking sweet, bro. Yeah. Go to lucha-mask.com and you can pre-order for the next batch and actually get one and not be left out like the little bitch you are right now. So once again, that is lucha-mask.com to pre-order.
Yeah, that's me. I'm on the pre-order list. I'm on the pre-order list. I messed up. I should have ordered.
As seen on AEW TV, because on the last pay-per-view, Phoenix wore this to the ring.
Dope. What do you got over there, Byron?
My cat is getting in front of my light.
Okay. Get out my light, Millie. What are you wearing, Byron? I can barely understand you.
So I have a Masquerade Dorado.
Yes.
Mask. And it's on top of my Lucha Underground mask.
And your cat's on top of that, and Meatloaf is shuffling a deck of cards on top of his microphone at the same time.
So,
what are you wearing? What is that? Is that a Glenn Gilberti mask?
No, that's a Disco Inferno mask. Come on. Let's be real.
Sorry.
Oh, look at him gyrate. Look at him gyrate. Look at that. Look at that thrust.
Stop it. That's gross.
That's for you, Glenn. Yeah.
All right.
Keep making a dance.
Anyway, Casey.
Thanks for watching, Glenn.
Professor
Yes,
Casey, yes. I need some help here. Let's talk about casket matches, brother.
Okay, so casket matches pretty much traditionally.
That was a cool interview with Kevin. It was cool to see that.
Byron.
You've got 30 minutes left on your phone.
First of all, I need to hear what Casey has to say, and I need to not hear as much of Meatloaf breathing and you talking at all. Casey, take it away.
All right, so when I was a kid, I used to go to a lot of house shows, but I missed one, and it was Ultimate Warrior versus The Undertaker. It was originally supposed to be, and I think eventually they redid it so that it was Sid versus The Undertaker in a casket match, okay? Because remember when Ultimate Warrior got locked in the coffin, they started doing body bag matches, and people were like, this isn't that visually interesting. So they moved on to coffin matches, casket matches. They actually called them coffin matches at the time, even though it was a casket. They didn't know the difference. Neither does Vampiro on commentary. So that's fine. But I asked people, I'm like, how was the match, dude? I'm imagining all this crazy shit. And they're like, they just rolled around inside the casket and punched each other. You couldn't see shit for the whole match. It sucked. So eventually they started to kind of lead up to the casket match that we traditionally saw with The Undertaker, which was the casket was used as kind of like a near fall device when you had to like slam the lid shut. Wing eventually started doing casket matches as well, which they called the Undertaker Death Match. And our homeboy Jason the Terrible depicted here after losing one of those said matches.
Yeah.
Basically, they'd put you in a really shitty coffin, and it would have death match rules. So you'd have to be down for a 10 count inside of the coffin. And sometimes, Mr. Pogo would just set it on fire while you were in it.
Dope.
Shit happens.
Super dope.
What Lucha Underground did that was different that I absolutely loved is they didn't use all of the contrived fucking coffin as a near casket lid near falls. This casket didn't open. Yeah, this casket didn't open until the end of the match. And they used a very real casket and took some horrendous bumps on it. And I've been inside that casket before. I don't know about you guys, but I've been in that casket for sure. And it was a real casket built like a fucking car door. So you can imagine how that felt fucking landing on it. And you also saw it was strong enough to hold big ass Mil Muertes standing on it. So do not think that was a gimmicked casket by any means.
We took pictures with it, or with the one.
No, it was this specific one.
That one stayed backstage at Lucha Underground through the entire run of the show, I believe. That was the one that was backstage at Gorilla, even when they moved to the Ice Temple.
The second that they finished this taping, they put it out so everyone can see it in that little waiting area before you would get in for the show. And because the first taping I went to, I saw it and everyone's like, no, dude, that was the craziest match I've ever seen. Let me show you pictures. And they were all busting out their phones and showing the blood splattered all over their seats or on them. Fucking amazing. This is where the show finds its identity as the violent crap that I fucking love in wrestling.
Well, like I said, it did have a little bit of the ECW thing, but it had a purpose. Like, it made sense. I love Fenix taking the headfirst dive into it, and then, Mil ripping at the mask, which is an instant signifier that some blood is going to come.
Let's talk about headfirst dives a second, Justin, because this match started with Mil Muertes doing a fucking tope suicida.
Which, by the way, he was countering the last match, right? When Fenix...
Yeah.
Psychology.
100% psychology building on other matches. And the real psychology of this was unscrewing the bottom rope, because not only does it make it easier to roll a motherfucker in a casket, you can take the ring apart and get a big hook to gouge someone's face in and fucking smack him over the head.
Yeah, I wonder if they were booking that, like, how are we going to get this casket in the ring? We got to get the bottom rope off. And Mil was like, I'll just beat him with the turnbuckle.
But which is amazing to me too. And it's like, I felt like Fenix bladed and went hard way. Like, that might have been a double up. I don't know.
He definitely bladed.
The kid can bleed, though. The kid is really, really good at bleeding. If there's one thing Fenix knows how to do, and this is not, by the way, even the worst that Fenix ever bleeds. There's one coming that is so much worse than this.
I've seen Fenix. Yeah,
there's nothing.
I've seen Fenix break. Yeah, I've seen Fenix break his nose right in front of me and bleed a lot more than this, actually, unfortunately. But completely ruined the cool.
Up to your promotion, the first question to him should be, what is your blood type and how many bags do we need to have on standby when we need to put it back in your body at the end of this?
If you're going to have this cool, awesome mask that we never see again.
Half Lucha Underground logo.
Let's just completely fucking ruin it in this match, and then we never see it again. God damn. He also shouldn't have worn black. I understand the story significance of it, but come on, if you're going to blade like that, you wear a lighter color. But
and I think he did every other time that he's bladed in his entire career. It's like, you see Fenix coming out in a white mask or completely white costume. You know you're in for something good.
Pentagon came out in a white shirt, the only white half Pentagon, half Pedo shirt. For Lucha Underground, for Ultima Lucha. Like, for his match against Vampiro, he's having a match against Vampiro and he comes out in white, and his mask was predominantly white too. You're like,
shit's going down. Plus, we saw fucking light tubes under the ring. Let's not bury the lead. We saw that shit coming too. But I gotta tell you guys,
hide your wives, hide your kids.
My favorite part of this match, absolute favorite, and one of the best things ever in the history of professional wrestling, is Mil Muertes sucking the blood out of Fenix's head and spitting it on the cameraman. And I got to tell you, this wasn't his creation. Vampiro's done it before, of course, including their feud in Puerto Rico, the Ricky Banderas Vampiro feud, which was fucking amazing.
Is excellent. Probably one of my favorites of Lucha Libre history, even though there wasn't a whole lot of Lucha Libre in that match.
Yeah, it carried over into WSX, into the exploding casket match that I wish we had talked to Kevin about a little bit, especially when he came in in our discussion. But I didn't think of it until now. God damn it.
We'll have back to that.
How do you get on a show where you're going to have an exploding casket match?
Oh, dude, it was awesome too.
Paper.
The pioneer of sucking the blood out of someone's head and spitting it into your face is someone you guys might not expect. It was actually Classy Freddie Blassie. When he used to be, it was when he used to be Vampire Fred Blassie as a heel in the California territories, where he was such a bloodthirsty heel, chewing people's foreheads up that they put a fucking muzzle on him when he wrestled. Tremendous. Fred Blassie was the shit. Pioneer, allegedly really gave a woman a heart attack doing this spot, and she died seeing it.
Oh my God.
And now Mil Muertes doing it on Lucha Underground. I bet that cameraman wasn't expecting that shit.
No, I don't think he was. I'll tell you what, one of my other favorite things in this match was the introduction of a new character that we see pop up quite often down the line in Lucha Underground, which is the announce table. And this announce table is not your regular announce table. This is a starring announce table because this motherfucker never breaks.
They brought that shit from Japan, bro.
Oh my God. It is made out of Japanese oak, clearly.
It's a Japanese. Fear of the table. How much you want to bet the production crew, like the set crew, the TV people, saw the wrestlers get near the table and like, all right, they didn't think anything of it. Then they start slamming each other on it. Like, what the fuck?
Like, they know that's not a gimmick table, right? Not only does it still have the rails on the bottom, it's like 3 inches thicker, it's short and stocky, and it's never going to break. Yeah. I think they broke it one time, right? Is that right, Casey? Like, it actually
but they made it like a fucking superpower thing that when it happened, though. Like, there was build to them breaking it when they finally broke it.
Near the ring, someone's going to get slammed through it. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it was Matanza that finally broke it, I think.
That's a slab of plywood.
I remember
20 mil.
When he was talking to us, EV Dub was watching this on the big control center, all the cameras on the screens, and he was thinking, this is like, he was getting nervous. You know, he's in charge, so he's like liable for stuff, and he's like, this is either best thing ever or the worst idea of all time, as Mil's just spitting blood out into the face.
I gotta imagine the lawyer was standing very close to EV Dub, repeatedly just nudging him like, you can't do this.
Eric, no, Eric. Stop, Eric. No, but you know what?
This isn't what you told me was gonna happen today, guys.
He's like, listen, there's gonna be a new you next week, just so you know, lawyer.
Separated the wheat from the chaff when it came to fans, though, because you notice there's a lot of fans in the audience of this show that you never see again. And a lot of our friends that went to all the tapings, they're fucking there.
Yeah.
They're fucking there. Because we see Vic, we see both Vics, I think. We see Jaime in the audience. We see a lot of our friends.
Mil Muertes is there.
Yeah, Mil Muertes is there. A lot of the OG fans. Vito El Rudo's in there.
Johnny Ace is in there.
Ruben.
Johnny Ace always. Johnny's awesome mom, you know.
Ruben, who makes the masks, does tattoos.
Yep. And we saw Tattoo Ruben wearing the mask in the audience too. And
really established the actual danger that exists in the stands in just attending the show as a fan.
Like, honestly, I wasn't there for this one, but we were all there for, well, Byron, were you there for the second one, the Matanza Mil Muertes one?
Maybe.
I was.
I felt like I was going to get fucked up at ringside, and I actually almost was. I had to jump out of the way of those fucking the little accordion wheel things that go under the fucking casket. Mil Muertes kicked him, and it shot out like a fucking skateboard, and I had to like jump out of the way. It was fucking nuts, dude.
Should have taken it.
Well, the thing
there
is,
are a few people in Lucha Underground that Casey and I started planning exit strategies or defense strategies when they would wrestle. Not
we had a rule,
Jeremiah was one of them, Mr. Jeremiah Crane.
Yeah.
We had a rule, which we always used to say on the show, was if you go to a Lucha Underground taping or any show and Ricky Banderas goes, well, he didn't even go move. If he's coming in your direction with somebody, just fucking move.
Mil Muertes looked me in the eyes once and said, move, and I peed a little, dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
the thing
I don't blame you. I peed for you.
That's Ricky Banderas under a hood wrestling on a show after a multiple decade career. But it doesn't matter because he was 100% Mil Muertes, who was just someone without regard for life. And so
friendly outside of the hood too, but man, as soon as that thing went on, oh my god, when he did not mess with him, bro.
The waters parted, Except season 4,
Yeah.
all the new fans, people got trampled.
Oh,
yeah, they deserved
a few
it.
times.
They deserved it.
There's
Yeah.
a few
Hey,
people
look,
that got
man.
chair
That's the
corrupt,
highlight of
especially-
season 4.
Especially in season 4 too, because at the beginning of season 4 they were banding the chairs together, so there were people who got entire rows of chairs kind of crushed
Worst
onto
thing to
them.
do. It
This
shows.
is the rule with Mil Muertes. He tells you to move, and if you don't move, it's on you. He's still
Well,
going
they
to
had
do what
that
he's
one
going to do.
section in the Ice Temple that was like a bowling alley, like for like 3 or 4 weeks straight, every taping, and they were doing like a grip of tapings a week, like 6 shows a week. Like it was the bowling alley, and when Mil would come out, somebody was getting thrown into that every single time, and people would show up brand new and just not move. For some reason, they kept putting all the newbies there, or they kept picking to go there because everyone else knew better.
To be fair, it's a good thing that I didn't make it there because I would have gone, right, Ricky, I give you permission to throw someone into me.
Oh dear Lord, you
I'll
probably
take
would
it.
not have enjoyed that.
I would have,
No.
I would have loved it, every second of it.
No, when you're
Look, as-
Impaled on the floor.
remember when Zach showed up and we're like, hey, Zach, is your first Lucha Underground taping? When a guy in a mask named Mil Muertes, he's built like 2 trees tied together. When he told you to move, run. And when it happened, we didn't see him for like 15 minutes. He disappeared.
Hey,
Yeah,
at least the
he
kid
was-
listens.
And then
He's outside.
I saw the video, and he was standing behind our friend Kevin the whole time, which was amazing.
The monster, Kevin Flip, was it?
No,
No,
cartoon
no.
Kevin, cartoon Kevin.
Cartoon Kevin.
Cartoonist.
Amazing. Look, as you guys can tell, this is absolutely one of our favorite episodes of Lucha Underground. I'm glad we finally got to it because maybe we can find enough gumption to keep doing a podcast about a show that's been off the air for 2 years out of seeing this. It makes me really happy. What are you going to say, Byron?
I got a motorcycle. The finish is great, and I think the finish still holds up today. And the double stomp rope walk. This, I really feel that Aerostar saw the finish of this match and is like, "Fuck it." He's doing a half a rope walk and double stomp. I'm gonna just slip in a full post rope walk in my match, my opening match, just to fuck with them.
Which is awesome. But they still both played great. And honestly, you know, more people are gonna watch this match, and they clipped it out of the show and ran it on YouTube even for Lucha Underground for a while, and it's just phenomenal.
Okay, this got something like 4.5 stars from Dave Meltzer for a
Jesus.
casket match. Which, if you look at casket, that doesn't happen.
Not very often,
Especially,
no.
I think the highest rated one would have been Taker and Shawn at the Rumble, but Shawn gets fucked up in that match, so it's not quite a high rating because after a certain point, he's in pain when he hits his back on that bump.
Yeah.
Now-
But
But mystical storyline wise, Casey, is this supposed to recharge The Rock and the powers here? What's the deal with The Rock in this finish? How does this play into the mythology of Lucha Underground?
okay, so it's supposed to make Mil Muertes stronger every time he dies. And so when he comes back, he's got better looking gear and he's got skeletons.
Oh, that's right. He comes out of the pajamas, doesn't he? This gets
the
him out of
pajamas
the
And his
rules.
eyes
I
change
love the
colors.
pajamas. I love the pajamas. I will always love the pajamas.
Never the pajamas. Never that.
It looks such a good throwback. I love
All
the
that
pajamas.
awesome concept art they had of the character, and then they put him in fucking pajamas. I was happy with
Yeah,
everything
but
else after this.
The second incarnation that he gets and just murders everyone after this is the concept art Mil Muertes.
Yes, which I love.
Down to his street clothes being the suit that they drew in the
Yeah.
concept art.
It's
It's amazing.
great how they
Super
work
dope.
this. And it's great. Like I love the procession. It's not a funeral procession. Stryker calls it something.
It's a Day of the Dead procession.
Day of the Dead procession, which is
Dia
not
de
on
Muertes.
Halloween.
It's November 2nd. Yeah.
It's 2 days later.
Yeah, those of you that
I love
if
all
you've
that.
ever gone to a Day of the Dead thing, I sure have at Alvera Street, and they fucking rule, and they're a lot like this.
Doesn't it sometimes start the 31st through to the 5th? It's like a 5-day.
It definitely does. Like they're saying it was only on the 2nd was a little off. I know a lot of people celebrated on the 1st as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Like that's
it's
what I mean, midnight of the 31st, you know, like so it's
Yeah,
technically the first.
It's a week of leaving offerings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Listen, if you guys want to know why we watch Lucha Underground, please go watch season 1, episode 19, Grave Consequences. Absolutely worth it. I got to get to the shout outs real quick, guys.
Yep.
I got to give shout outs to my homeboy, Gabe Smith, who not only started listening to the show recently, he's a big NWA Power fan. He's a fan of Thunder Rosa's, probably one of her biggest fans. And he's been listening to the show recently. He was my set medic. He was the guy who stuck a stick up my nose every day for frickin' the last 2 months to test me to make sure I could live through that friggin' show I did.
And we won't even talk about the thermometer.
I hope you first.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a reason why he would snap the gloves every time before he did it. But yeah, so big shout out to Gabe Smith. So not only has he been listening to the show, but he also left us a review, and I'll get to those in a minute. I got to give a shout out to Straight Out of the Bodega, who's been retweeting us. They're another one of the awesome shows here on the Lucha Central Podcast Network. Please, please, please check them out as well. Paula O'Keefe. Yes, we have some new merch coming soon. I've been super busy, but now that I'm not, I will try to figure it out and maybe even see if we can get Kev to do something through Mass Republic for us.
But Paula, I'll make you a.
You can't buy the new merch until you buy the KC merch. So teespring.com/bazooka-KC.
Well, Paula's still rocking the MMMshow 100s shirt, and she wants us to get all the way to 200 so we can make a new one. But until then, we'll get you some Tidy Over merch because that's going to be a solid year away from now. Let's see. Maria Sanchez gets a huge shout out. Mass Republic and Business of the Business get a big shout out for, Mass Republic has been retweeting us a lot, which is pretty much Kevin's handle, but we have the Lucha Central Podcast Network handle that does our tweeting and has to do it. Kevin does not have to, but he still does it anyway. So we love him. Bad Hombre, Gotze, Zeus, the whole team over at Markout Mania. Catch those guys Saturday mornings for all of your fun wrestling nostalgia and current wrestling talk. Those guys are awesome.
Zeus eats circus peanuts.
Let me read some of these newer ones. I don't know if we've read this review yet.
Is it the best one?
The piece of shit. Pray for Mojo. Fuck that guy.
I will get to some. Here we go. This one
I actually did my job this week with iTunes, by the way.
Well, I'm reading them now because I didn't think you were going to. So
I actually
5 stars from Sweet Daddy Diddy. These guys, awesome show. Love the banter. Wrestling is probably the greatest form of entertainment ever, and these guys do it justice. Wow, those are the best lies I have heard in
justice.
ages.
Last name of Sid. Fuck yeah, and the man, the master, ruler of the world. I am so glad that P Diddy listens to our show, dog. I never really liked his music, but I was pretty into
it's the same
band.
P Diddy. I hate to break it to you. I like this one from PR4 Mojo.
Okay, first of all, it's Pray for Mojo.
We gotta get it clean. Hold on.
Okay. Pray for Mojo. All right. 5 stars. First of all, this is a 5-star review. And if all 5-star reviews came like this, maybe we don't want to be 5 stars. I don't know. Anyway, the title of this review is Shows Used to Be Longer Than the Irishman. Not sure who has this much time on their hands, but apparently some people do. Apparently they've shortened the episodes now, but I'll have to take their word for it because, fool me once, shame on you. You get it. This is really what this says too. Have never listened to a full episode, but they do have great guests. A must listen for any Lucha Underground fans who have, say, 6 hours to spare. Justin, me, Byron, and Jimmy are all great guys. 5 stars! !
Josh Pillow.
You could have given a star for every host, but apparently only Justin, me, Byron, and Jimmy are great guys. There's no mention of Casey. What the hell's going on there?
You know what? If I may, Justin, you know what else is longer than the Irishman? My dick, and they can suck it.
Wow. All right, here's another one. 5 stars from Mikey Freedom. Great podcast. Mikey. Thanks for the content with a big muscle arm. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Mikey.
I was scared by the name.
I love it when people put emojis in their reviews. More of those, please.
Dude, do you think Mikey Freedom is Freedom from CNC Music Factory? Because he was pretty muscular.
Yes.
No, but I think we might know who this one is from, too. 5 stars from Paulie Slim, our boy.
Hey.
He also says, it's War and Peace in podcast form is the title of his review. This is the go-to podcast for any fan of Lucha Underground and the wrestling industry in general. I love it. It was still a good review, but he's right. The show is kind of long.
The king of carne asada fries, Paulie.
You know
Yeah.
what, Paul, you
Thanks,
make me
Paulie.
hungry. You make
Appreciate
me
you,
hungry
brother.
all the time with your fries pictures. We love
Paulie's
you.
going to stop listening, though, if we don't get Marty the Moth on again soon, because I know that's one of his favorites. All right, I got to do some Wall of Fame, Wall of Shame time, guys, and then we'll get to another break before we talk about all the things in AEW I want to talk about today.
Oh, shit. I forgot that.
There's a lot of AEW Lucha Underground news, so we really got to do it. But anyway, Wall of Fame, we got Tony Khan, Karrion Kross, Roman Reigns, Casey over there for hooking up the Storm Shadow figures that sadly aren't going to come on time. Robert Stonebrand, which Byron put on there, but I still agree with it, so I'm leaving it on there. I'm putting up two new additions. Should have done this one last week. I'm putting Denise Salcedo on the Wall of Fame because of her love of donuts. Fight me if you don't like it. And then my second addition, my brand new addition to the Wall of Fame, and this one is not going away. I'm adding Sonny Kiss to the Wall of Fame for graduating college. Congratulations, Sonny.
Congrats,
We're all very
Sonny.
proud of you. We love the push that you're starting to get on AEW as well. Keep it going. Don't let anybody friggin' stop you, brother. We know how hard you've been working.
One more thing about
ahead,
Sonny. I mean, Sonny's always been a huge star in our eyes, but Sonny just propelled Sonny and Joey propelled AEW's main event to over 1 million viewers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a ratings draw. And
Rob Piper
So
will say that it's
Sonny
tight
Kiss
on it.
should be tweeting your welcome to people right now.
So you know, like, that's another feather in his cap, and his push, his story just got started too, which is great.
And I'll be honest, the feather in ours too, because the second we saw Sonny, and especially you, Byron, that was like, it was a no-brainer to us that Sonny has a thing that is very unique and that is worked on very hard and is executed very well, and we all loved it. It's a great thing. I won't say that Sonny doesn't have some issues where he's a little green in spots, but he's still fairly new to the business, and I think that he's finally getting the chance to work with the performers that are going to elevate that game almost immediately because you know, he's got the physical ability to pick up all the stuff that's missing so fast, and you can already see it starting to happen. So we're very, very
we
proud of
eagerly
Sonny.
await the heel turn.
So he's talking
I
about.
don't even know.
Oh, Sonny'd be
No.
amazing. I think he'd be so good. I think he's so good as a heel.
Not for a while though, but like he's
No, not for a while, but you know, it's like a build.
That would
for
be
me,
almost
like,
a Hogan
I want
level
to see,
heel
you know,
turn, because I can't even imagine Sonny going heel. But I guess that
Where he's
might
like,
honest up-
all the booty popping and all the ass shaking. I did it for the money, brother.
They do have
Rob Halford glove.
They do have the back of the beach. But Sonny's talked about how he's still fighting against his dance background, which makes his movements more fluid than more fighting. Like, but I mean, when he was doing his work on Dark, I loved his tag team with Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
You know that was invaluable, like mentorship.
Dude, plus
Absolutely.
it's fucking Sonny Kiss teaming with Gold Dust. That rules.
Yeah, that's the best.
But, like,
Nothing wrong with that.
He's like one of the biggest like I think acquisitions AEW could have taken. Someone who was under contract from WWE as an agent producer.
Yeah,
I have
I'm going
some
to get to him too
suggestions.
because we're going to still talk about AEW. But I got to finish the Wall of Shame.
Go for
you
it.
got anything for Wall of Fame, Case? All right, let me get to the Wall of Shame.
No.
Wall of Shame right now. David Lagana, Jeffrey Briggs, and JT Wilcox, and those idiots who think they're going to trademark Lucha Underground. And go back and listen to Kev if you want to hear about idiots and trademarks. Velveteen Dream still on there. Impact for not getting verifications for their wrestlers. Come on, blue check marks, Impact. It ain't that hard. Brit Wrestling, Pedos, Predos, and Pervs. Tessa Blanchard still on there for phoning it in. Retribution still going to be on there until they find some way to pay that off. That doesn't piss me off, which I seriously doubt is going to happen. UFC 4, Avengers, and Predator for that shitty 2.01 update.
God.
Still.
203 still bad. It still can't play it. I played the other day, and every time I got through, it just went through me out.
I like the new stuff they added, and it's getting a little bit better, but I'm going to give it another update before I really get back into it hardcore. Ricochet, brother, until you cut that promo, you are still on this freaking Wall of Shame. Amazon and Hasbro for delaying the aforementioned reason for Casey getting on the Wall of Fame.
Yeah.
And our buddy Colt on AAMS, Eric Mutter, still on there.
Yeah.
Unfamiliar.
Dead to Byron, clearly dead to Byron. Though I retweeted him today. I unblocked him from the MMMshow account and retweeted him because I actually saw a tweet from my personal account of his that I liked. So I gave him the love. And you can go back in and block him if you want, Byron.
I'll get drunk later and do it.
What's the password?
Austin Theory.
So, and it's a shame that Kev's not here because Kev would appreciate this one. My new addition to the Wall of Shame this week is Spotfest Radio for lucha-mask.com for the $30 price tag, and also for calling fans of Masked Republic. What did they say? They called them uneducated.
Did you see how many fans they've got on their account?
How many?
4 followers.
Yeah, fuck Spotfest Radio. Sorry, guys. You picked the wrong people to fuck with.
Should I bleep their name out? Because they might actually get a rub from us.
Yeah,
I don't
bleep
care.
it. Bleep it.
I don't care. You can do whatever you... No, don't bleep their name out. I want people to know that they're douchebags.
Is it shit Wow's new one?
Please, go and follow them. I hope all of Twitwow's followers follow them too. Give them a big, huge push so that all the douchebags can go and follow them and not follow us anymore. Go for it. Be my guest. If anybody who's listening to this show actually wants to follow those douchebags, go for it. They hate Lucha Libre. They hate what Masked Republic is doing. They hate good Lucha masks. They hate all the sweet shit that
getting guys paid during a fucking pandemic.
If you like them, please don't listen to our show. Go to them. What are you saying, Byron?
I know we had a commercial, and then we also do like an extended 15-minute promo every time. But these are not your regular vanity masks. These are sewn together like an actual luchador's mask. They have the quality. Also, with the quality, they have the layers of fabric. You can also just buy a filter yourself and just put the filter in.
Well, yeah, and he was saying all sorts of stuff about how they're not CDC, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, yeah, neither are the ones you get at Target, bro. They're not N95 masks. No one's claiming that they are.
Get a filter,
exactly, that's just another one.
And put it on your face, and you're good. But that's the thing. They don't want us to buy those N95 masks because, as the greatest superpower in the world, we don't have enough to go around in a pandemic still.
Yeah, look.
And also, with this is 2 layers, and it will do a good job of stopping at going out, and that's what they're trying to stop. So
yeah,
it's not
the whole
perfect,
thing is you wear a mask to not affect everybody else. Listen, anybody else got anything for the Wall of Shame? We got to take
Austin Theory.
Break. Austin Theory, good Lord. All right.
Teenagers.
I was hoping we could avoid him, but...
So you can either be a person who points out, as a wrestling fan, all the problems in the world and just lament that there are problems and complain, or you can look at something that needs a solution and find it. Just get one of these things.
Yeah, just get a thing. Put the thing on there. All right, guys, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back, and we're going to discuss a lot of things going on with AEW now that affect Lucha Underground stars left and right from different angles and variations, and kind of my thoughts on where AEW should go, and I'm sure plenty of Byron's thoughts if you guys can handle them. We'll be right back.
If you're listening to this and you haven't visited luchacentral.com, it's time to do it. LuchaCentral.com is the online home for Lucha Libre, where you can get all of the top news in English and in Spanish. Find the best curated video content and original content not seen anywhere else. Find when Lucha Libre events would be happening in your area. Find photo galleries from top photographers covering Lucha Libre around the world. From weekly polls to annual awards. Seen and read by top executives in all of the major Lucha Libre promotions across the globe. And on top of that, it's free. LuchaCentral.com, your centralized place for all things Lucha Libre.
All right, guys. Wall of Shame accomplished. Lucha Underground Grave Consequences accomplished. I got to talk about AEW. We've talked a little bit about Thunder Rosa, but
yeah,
Thunder Rosa single-handedly exposed AEW. 100%. Like, I don't know if anybody really understood, and I don't want to be mean because you guys know I love Brandy, and Brandy's been awesome, and I think that Britt Baker's going to be a star, but Thunder Rosa really exposed single-handedly just how awful AEW's women's division has been. You know, I love Evie too, but she hasn't looked great. Just in general, the Nyla Rose thing doesn't really work for me.
But like Evie was she's probably running at like 70% of what we're seeing her in Lucha Underground now. And in the tag tournament that she was in, she and Diamante looked like way better than anyone else in that tag tournament.
Right. And here's my thing. The other thing I want to say too is the Serena Deeb match for Thunder Rosa is the best women's match in AEW history. And it's not the match that she had with Shida, which is another slight problem to me because that match was great. The little bit of a crowd that they had there didn't get into it as much as the Deeb match. But part of it is the fact that Thunder Rosa was the one with all the story. It's the other thing that really exposed AEW. She came in, she was the first Mexican women NWA champ. Like, there was a story to it. There was purpose behind what she was doing. It wasn't complicated. It was still in the AEW world of being an athletic representation of, you know, somebody who's actually good at what they do. But like, it just seriously exposed some things. Now, the match with Shida was exactly what it was supposed to be because they worked Shida's style. Shida was the one kind of calling the shots there a little bit, and Thunder Rosa was giving it to her, which was great. You know, Thunder Rosa did exactly what she was supposed to do: give their champion a hell of a fight, a great match, and put their champion over after a hard-fought battle. But it was very deliberate, like late '90s Japanese kind of style of women's match, which I loved, but at the same time wasn't quite as exciting as the Deeb match. And it's still great.
Probably went a little bit longer because of the match with before it.
Well,
if they got extra time, I love that they got extra time.
But that whole thing was too long. They could have shortened the entire show by an hour and been better off. But that's not on either of those ladies. They did fine with the time that they were given. And I don't think that either of them was gassing out or anything like that. I think it was specifically planned to be a slower match by Shida.
I think Shida gassed a couple times.
Maybe. But here's the other thing that it kind of exposes to me. You know, Dustin has been, we were talking about Dustin a little bit. The guy's a saint. I know Thunder Rosa absolutely loves him. I know Sonny loves him. You know, the people that we know have said nothing but good things about him. Who they haven't mentioned, and I'm not saying they're trying to bury the guy, but I'm reading between the lines a little bit here, is Kenny. Kenny Omega is, I think, the linchpin at AEW that is just absolutely being used wrong. Him booking the women's division, him having Shida as a pet project to do his thing with, like, what he's been doing with the women's division is off. What he's been doing with his storyline and where he's been going is off. I think now is the time to put the belt on Kenny Omega. Just give people exactly what they always thought that they were going to get from AEW. People are going to be pissed off about it at first. It's the obvious thing to do, but they should do it because they need a fucking baseline. Right now, AEW is like WCW before Hogan came in. They're nobody. And then even when Hogan came in, still nobody. It wasn't until the fucking heel turn and the NWO. And that's what AEW is missing. They're missing something more exciting about the overall product. They're missing something in the world of what's going on.
I was going to say that it feels to me like cold drop gimmicks. So there's not a lot of like pre-story or something leading into, like, it's just like, oh, this person's a fucking alien from outer space. And it's like, what? The fuck?
But
so
this
you've got
episode,
to get your head. It's like, what?
Look, this episode of Dynamite this past week was better than the pay-per-view, I thought.
Absolutely.
Because of the fact that it moved things forward. The storylines started to become interesting. You saw, really, and this is the thing that the Raw after a pay-per-view has been failing to do for years now, is like, it made you feel like what happened at the pay-per-view meant something. That, like, these things actually do go somewhere. The logic behind the episode after the pay-per-view was better than anything that led into it by a long stretch. And I can only hope they keep playing into it.
Oh, there was a major Thunder Rosa announcement for next week's Dynamite that we should get into.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. She is going to go ahead, Case. I'll let you do it.
Yeah, she's going to defend the NWA championship against Ivelisse. So, Lucha Underground fans, here the fuck you go.
But see, there's I have high hopes, and I really hope it's going to be a great match. But you also have, it's another example of AEW wanting a showcase match with Thunder Rosa. You know, they want to have a great women's wrestling match, and they're throwing one of the least AEW
right. But yeah, I agree with that. But also at the same time, you got to look at the fact that on paper this should be absolute fire. I mean, Eva Lisa's been wrestling longer than Thunder Rosa. She's and
that's one thing out.
Veteran in the match.
Sorry, the previous best match was with someone who wasn't actually an AEW wrestler.
Who now apparently is.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I mean, look, at least she's doing enough with them to make sure that, you know, the credibility stays with her and with AEW, I think. And if her and Evie can have a fire match, which I think they can, and I always thought they could, but it's funny because in Lucha Underground, it was like, yeah, you want to see Thunder Rosa versus Evie so that Evie can elevate Thunder Rosa. I think that is clearly reversed now, and it's very interesting to see that somehow now Thunder Rosa, being this outsider who's wrestled in smaller promotions, was the new kid on the block in Lucha Underground and trying to learn from all the boys there. Like somehow Thunder Rosa is the one who's got her own promotion, which by the way, Mission Pro is a week from this past Friday, and I need to watch Red Velvet on the Mission Pro card just so you guys are all aware.
Oh, Red Velvet.
Yeah, I got.
I used to watch her at live shows in.
I bet you did, Byron.
Why didn't you take me to these shows, Byron? Look, Thunder Rosa.
I just want to say I know what you're talking about.
Well, Thunder Rosa has offered flat out to be my wingman now, and Thunder Rosa, if you're listening to this, I need you to make a thing happen with Red Velvet, please.
No, she's with Briscoe. You should look on her Instagram.
We don't talk about that.
Wait, which Briscoe? Is it Gerald Briscoe?
It's an Impact. Used to work for Impact Briscoe. It's not the one who's on a.
No, it's
not the one that if I wanted to hook you, you'd be hooked.
Things changed, Byron, and things changed in my favor. Period. Anyway, Mission Pro is coming up this week, so definitely go to their website, check it out. I believe they're doing a pay-per-view thing too. I got to figure that out because I want to definitely watch Mission Pro this week. Anyway, Thunder Rosa versus Ivelisse should be fire. I'm almost positive that Thunder Rosa is going to retain simply because she's announced another title defense that happens after that, which I think was kind of a weird thing.
Oh, that's NWA though. They do that. They've done that since the Crockett days. It's fine.
But also to NWA's credit, there would be times when they would do that and then take the belt off of somebody and then they would show up and do the match without the belt. So it could still happen. I don't imagine that Evie will be taking Thunder Rosa's belt, though. I think that will firmly stay with Thunder Rosa. But what we're really hoping for here is not some surprising finish. What we need is another surprising match. We need a great match out of these guys. And I'm going to go back to when Thunder Rosa wrestled Taya Valkyrie off on the Indies somewhere in California. I don't even know where it was. I honestly think that was the moment that Thunder Rosa turned the corner. Working with Taya, I think gave her an opportunity to see as a female performer how she could step it up and where she could really excel, what parts of Lucha Libre to bring into regular American style wrestling. Because though Thunder Rosa is from Mexico, she is mostly trained indie style here in the States, and she's added Lucha Libre to her style.
Didn't she start wrestling the other way around? In America? She moved to America and then started wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, a lot of people don't realize that. She may not want people to realize that, so she gets the credibility as both, but because she can do both now. Anyway, that's part of it. Kenny Omega should be champion, in my opinion. I just think that would really solve half the problems. They need a baseline. They need a reset. Kenny on a singles run, which I feel like is kind of where they're going, is great. And hopefully they stay on that path.
It keeps them away from the women's division.
I feel that. But I feel, and he even dropped he mentioned that everyone wanted him to do that. He talked about it and he cut a good promo and he's getting better. I feel that Kenny as a booker agent and as a talent was special in America, even though he's Canadian. he was special as an import from Japan. And I think that covered some of his weaknesses, but he also had extra shine on him. And I feel in a way it was smart to give him a high profile tag run, but he got, without all of the responsibility on him, he got to learn that American audience, and he got to learn working TV. He didn't know how to work TV, and who knows? I mean, half the guys don't hit their finish to the hard cam anyway, he got
to heal up a little bit too, which is, I think, the real reason.
But it's slow, long-term storytelling, and it's compelling. It makes sense. And I mean, and I feel, and at the end of the day, the simple thing is like, he should be champ. That'd be great. And that's what we all wanted with AEW. But
we need that on the big belt. It doesn't have a baseline yet. I mean, what's the baseline? Chris Jericho right now?
He's also got the AAA championship.
See, and
is it Moxley, who's more of a hardcore guy now and kind of a retired mid-tier WWE guy? I think it has to be Kenny. Like, you need a baseline.
I agree with that. But I also think they're not jumping to the end of that story right away. And I'm looking forward to, hopefully, he makes the beeline for it, and he gets, like, he even tweeted after his match with Moxley. Some people have brought this up on Twitter, like, "Oh yeah, you won, but I survived, so I won." That means,
but see, here's my thing. I don't know that they can afford to wait for a payoff. I think they hotshot it onto Kenny so that it pays off for someone else later, so that it pays off for the whole promotion later. I think that their time to dick around is just expired. I just don't think they have that kind of leeway anymore.
Well, you have Archer in a month. That's going to be a Moxley win. I don't know how much of a story there is there, but I feel like there's going to be. Put it
on Archer and have Kenny take it off of him.
Yeah, well, I feel like whatever's going on in the next month, it's the story of Kenny getting the title should be ongoing. But I feel like that also translated to his booking in the women's division. Like, half their talent were imports, and half the appeal was, here's a style that's imported, and they lost half of that. And also, that doesn't necessarily, once it becomes normal.
Everything in the women's division feels like a bad pet project of Kenny's, except for the Britt Baker and Swole thing. And I don't think that was him. I think that was other people that came up with that.
That's Jericho also working with Britt, using his WCW conspiracy theorist character, which was amazing.
I thought it was Vince Russo.
And
I thought that's who did that much. It was fucking garbage.
And
it was the worst shit ever.
And the whole Brit,
I liked it.
See, that's all accidental. The whole Brit thing. She wasn't supposed to have.
But that's fine. You're supposed to run with accidental things.
Swole was another person who just came in to work a match and had a great character and got over. And so, and then they worked well together. That's all.
Right. Sure. And now they need to match Britt up with Thunder Rosa or someone else so that she can actually get good at wrestling too, because she's a great character, but she needs a little work. All right. So a couple other quick things I want to talk about with AEW, and leading kind of back to Lucha Underground a little bit. The Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara thing was kind of hard to watch. I like them sending Matt out to just basically apologize for it and say, I'm going to take a little break now, guys.
He had to apologize to his wife in front of the world. I love it. And I love it. It was all sincere and straight. And there was no run-in. There was no like, we got to get heat on the guy. Have someone just blame him. Yeah. Chair. That's what WWE would do.
Sammy Guevara, I think, look, the kid's talented, and he's survived a whole lot of mishaps at this point. He's had some weird up and downs in his very early career. So I think he'll survive this too, but they need to cool him for a little bit and then find a way to reintroduce him back in a positive light. Finally, let him do a comedy gimmick. Let him do something a little easier and just kind of cruise through it. He needs the Orange Cassidy rub next time.
I'm happy that Matt,
which brings me to two last things I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the one you would think would be bigger first, but it's not that big to me. Miro makes debut. Formerly known as Rusev. I liked it. I thought it worked. I'm interested to see where it's going. They got me. They got me interested. That's all they were supposed to do, right?
Exactly. I feel he's lining himself up as the best man at the best at Twitch video games. He's already penciled in to challenge Kenny for the belt via Street Fighter 2 matches. And but I'm disappointed that I'm disappointed that him and Moxley are not in the G1. I feel that,
Well, look, that is what it is. You're not going to have that right now. They can't travel and do both. They're either in AEW or they're in New Japan right now. You can't really fly around the world doing wrestling.
But Rusev
I will say
this. Shit, we lost Justin. Rusev truly is the best man because he fucked on a tank once.
That's
and
true.
none of us can say that we did. So on a tank, in a tank, around a tank. Come on.
Fish tank.
Yeah. See, and
Fish
also,
tank.
he came in and did the glass ceiling, brass ring, WWE promo, and maybe he has more right to do it than most. I'm tired of those, and hopefully they just.
I was just saying, I was really tired of the whole kind of. I'm very tired with AEW kind of. I
You didn't even watch
understand
the
WWE guys. Yeah, but I watched certain parts of it, and every time they sign a WWE guy, they bring it in, and then it's like some like contrived shot at Vince McMahon thing. It's not even at the level of WCW versus WWE, and it's just getting really tiresome.
I'm more excited about Miro than I was about Moxley. I'll say that. I feel like he's a better fit in general, so I'm interested to see where it goes.
There's more potential to see what he can do for sure.
I'm into deathmatch shit. I was stoked for Moxley.
I was stoked for Moxley, but to me, it's Moxley New Japan. That's where I love his stuff the most.
I got you. Yeah. His match with Suzuki was tremendous.
Yeah, and Ishii.
He did some good stuff in there. I just don't. I don't feel like it's going where I would like to see it go in AEW with Moxley. I don't think he should go away or anything. I just don't think he should be champ anymore. I think they could do better right now. All right, the last thing I want to talk about, which kind of leads to the last thing I want to talk about, is Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I don't know what it is. That guy has turned a friggin' corner. He is absolutely one of my favorite wrestlers right now. He looks so damn crisp. His spots are great. The moments he had with Phoenix in that match were the best wrestling of the week, by far, of every single thing that was on television. Jack Perry was my favorite wrestler this week out of like the 70 matches I watched.
What was your question?
So friggin' good.
What was your question?
And come
during his match?
If you're asking me something, that's never going to work because you're super glitchy on my end.
The question he was asking was, did I leave it on slow-mo when Luchasaurus was in? And the answer is no.
Justin asked, how long has Jungle Jack Boy Perry been wrestling?
And I said since he was like 10 years old and I was at the match. Yeah, he's been wrestling since he was a little kid, which is fucking amazing.
Go ahead, Justin.
And he's phenomenal now. I really like it. I also really liked Eddie Kingston coming out and trying to get the Penta Phoenix handshake to happen and everything that transpired there.
Eddie,
it.
Don't fucking do it. We want the singles Pentagon run. God damn it.
Yeah.
No, but this is perfect storytelling to set that up. I mean, it's great. And we want the Phoenix singles run.
Yes, most definitely.
We want Penta to be in some other tag team so he doesn't blow up. We want Phoenix to actually get a good singles run while he's hot.
Dude, all you gotta do is let Penta win in 30 seconds and you don't have to worry about him blowing up. It's the Ultimate Warrior math equation. Come on.
I love Eddie coming in, cutting a great promo. Just in Lucha Blog, I think even made a funny tweet. Like he comes in and starts tying together all sorts of loose ends. He gets in Pentagon's face, Penta L0M's face, trademark, and says, "You're my best friend." That blew my mind. How are these guys best friends? Goes up to Blake. He's like, "Where's your wife?" His wife was chewing on an apple backstage. It's hilarious. Like all these things, he's just masterfully working a promo, making you care about these four guys, which you didn't really care about as a group like weeks ago.
I love it.
Big pause. I love it. He didn't know what you said. He's just gone. I love it.
He agreed with me. Anyway, I love it. Anyway, Eddie Kingston should be the new.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston should be getting the title shot. I agree.
I'll go for that. I take back everything I said about Kenny. Let's put it all on Eddie Kingston. Listen, I got to say thank you to Kevin Kleinrock. I want to say thank you to Thunder Roaster just for being awesome and getting all over TV and running with it and being on Talk is Jericho and all sorts of fun places. Maybe we'll get her in here. Maybe you've heard her in here. Maybe we get her tomorrow and cut it in. I have no idea. And I want to say thank you to these three guys for always putting up with all my technical crap. And until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.
Penis, don't cut it, Byron, you piece of shit. I saw last week's episode.